The next pair is judged by referee Al Batu, Turkey. Judges Al Robinson, USA.
Make sure the headgear is secure and the mouthpiece in place for this one. Sergei Karavayev of Russia, Juan Lemus of Cuba. The light middleweights. Juan Lemus, you know all about him. One punch against Dirk Zemsky. The bell rang, and Lemus rang him up in the semifinals. Karavayev, the four-time Russian national champion. Two impressive decisions. The last one over Orhan Dulabus, the Barcelona silver medalist. This should be one of the best bouts you'll see in the finals, Kevin.
Karavayev will come after you, and Lemus, if he does, will be ready.
Lemus won the gold medal in Barcelona. He's a three-time Cuban national champion going up against a Russian who's won it 4 times in his country, bronze medalist at the '93 World Championships.
So that was the right to put Zemsky down. It missed. Lightning jab on Lemus.
And he can follow it with a very powerful right hand. Quite an arsenal for the Cuban. But he's in there against a tough guy, 26-year-old Sergei Karavayev. Both boxers 26.
Caution inside of the glove for Lemus to get a wide blow. These are heavy blows.
I was going to say some stuff really being loaded up in there.
These are men, quite often in amateur boxing, you'll see matchups between 19, 20, 21-year-olds. These are 26-year-olds, and they are throwing heavy lead.
So far, none of it is scored. We near the midway point of round 1. There was a left hand that did score by Karavayev.
And an overhand right that was very close.
By this time in the semifinals, Lemus was showered and dressed and on the bus. Boy, a wild uppercut missed, and then Lemus got tagged by Karavayev in a standing 8 count.
Exactly right. Lemus opened himself up with that uppercut that missed. Karavayev was right there to follow it up.
The book on Karavayev, aggressive and clever. He makes you miss. And when Lemus missed with that uppercut, Karavayev made him pay. Oh, and down! Juan Lemus.
Short right hand to the ear of Juan Lemus. There's been talk that maybe a little bit of age on this Cuban team. The Germans beat him up a little bit last time they faced him. And now the Russians having success against them.
You've heard that in your living room, I'm sure. The heavy stuff being thrown in round 1 of this light middleweight bout.
Lemus came out on fire. He has learned respect here in the first round. Good left to the body by the Russian.
That was right on the borderline. It didn't score. It's 4-0. Karavayev, the Russian, with the lead. He's got Lemus against the ropes again as the bell rings at the end of round 1, and a great round for Karavayev.
Karavayev having success now, making Lemus hesitate and drop his left. It was the short right by Karavayev that dropped the Cuban. We're going to show you a left right there. Karavayev has some versatility. Watch the short right to the ear. Lemus just a little bit off balance. This is not all that big a blow. Hit on the forehead and the ear.
And he was more off balance too, and then hit the mat. There was no standing 8 count involved there, but Karavayev clearly dictating what went on in the ring in round 1 against Juan Lemus.
Now what to do for the Cubans? Lemus is capable of a lot of movement. He didn't use it in the first round. It'll be interesting to see if he backs off a little bit and tries to move and score from a distance.
One thing we've seen through this week of boxing here at the Yubileyny Palace of Sport has been the intimidation factor that's associated when a Cuban gets in the ring. A lot of opponents are really spooked when they get in here. You're looking at a guy, Karavayev, with loads of international experience, 26 years old, who says, I don't care where you're from, let's go. And he has dictated what's happened so far.
You're right. The older boxers deal with the Cuban mystique a lot better than the younger boxers. And the Cubans, when forced to box, stand and box, have not been dominated.
Almost a minute deep into round 2. Juan Lemus has yet to score.
It's incredible when you consider the Zemsky bout. One punch and it was over. Lemus having trouble getting past Karavayev's defense.
And it's getting to the point now where Karavayev, if it goes this way much longer, will be able to just try to stay away and preserve that lead.
That's not his style, Ernie. Karavayev is doing just a remarkable job of stepping inside the Cuban's punches.
A 6-0 advantage.
Karavayev very compact, very compact. Short blows.
Lemus looks confounded in there.
Yes, unraveling rapidly. Good right hand by the Cuban. Nothing on it.
That was one of his best punches of the night, and it didn't count.
He doesn't have the confidence in his punches he did when he came out. He's throwing them out there, but he's putting nothing behind him. And backing up constantly, Karavayev overpowering Lemus. Left jab to the face, and that's a scoring blow. 7-0. Another shot with a right.
The Russian crowd here is eating it up as Karavayev eats up the Cuban Juan Lemus, 7-0. He just doesn't go away, does he? Every time Lemus looks up, Karavayev is right there in his chest.
Stop!
That's a warning, and it's going to be 3 points down for the Cuban for the inside of the glove, and that's a factor of Karavayev getting inside the blows, the Cuban throwing wide and hitting him with the inside of the glove.
Again, the left hand from Karavayev doing damage. It's 12-0.
He could take Lemus out. Lemus has to get in there and box now in order to try to pull this out, and he's not going to be able to throw with Karavayev. A left to the head. 2 points for the Cuban as he knows he's behind. He has to slug it out.
The end of round 2. Let's see what kind of welcome Lemus gets in his corner. We have seen some tongue lashings from the coaches over there in the course of the week when things aren't going as they should. And Lemus down by 10.
Karavayev cutting down the distance right in front of the Cuban. Great head movement. He will make you miss, as Ernie said. A good right hand. Moves his head well. Look at that. Look at the movement, the counters. Karavayev right in front of Lemus. Lemus has no defense against the Russian.
Sergei Karavayev on the left, the 26-year-old Russian. 26-year-old Cuban Juan Lemus on the right, and in trouble. Down 12-2 after 2.
We have seen it time and again, Ernie. Pressure bothers the Cubans. And Lemus has been pressured.
Lemus is going to have to pull it all out right here. Round 3. Down by a bundle.
He cannot go with Karavayev at this distance.
Lemus needs to load up. Karavayev has an answer every time he does.
Good straight left by Karavayev.
You're not going to come back and win this one on points.
The referee stops the action.
He's no fan of ringside audio, obviously.
Technician up there working on the audio.
12-4 the advantage for the Russian Karavayev. Juan Lemus, a couple of minutes to go, and these are desperate times for the Cuban light middleweight. A three-time champion, but a Goodwill Games championship will elude him here if things continue as they are. Karavayev is dominating. Again, the left hand, right through the gloves, 14-4.
Karavayev is so compact, as most of the better Russian boxers are. Oh, left hook to the jaw of Lemus, and that hurt him.
Karavayev continues to wade in.
Well, Lemus definitely hurt. Wasn't a scoring blow, but definitely hurt by that left.
About a minute to go in the bout. Far ahead on points, the boxer in the red, Karavayev of Russia. Again, another wild miss by Lemus. The elusive Karavayev, the elusive and powerful Karavayev.
The Russian trying to stall, he just doesn't know how.
There is no four corners on the Russian boxing team.
It's kind of odd watching style the first two rounds right in front of Lemus, now backing up, lateral movement, trying to stay away from the Cuban, preserve his lead.
A gold medal within reach for Sergei Karavayev. The lead 14-6.
That was a caution for holding behind the head against Lemus.
Couple of left from Lemus.
Left and a right, and then an answer from the Russian, a scoring blow, 15-7.
The bell and the gold to Sergei Karavayev of Russia. Juan Lemus, the one-punch wonder in the semifinals, goes down 15-7. And take a look at Karavayev dancing around the ring. Still got plenty left. The Russians, hey, I think they're saying don't believe the hype. Karavayev over Lemus of Cuba.
We have seen a number of Russian performances. This is an extraordinary performance against an excellent world-class boxer in Juan Lemus. Not as much mobility, but great movement by the Russian, simultaneous blows there. The first two rounds, the Russian much more compact, able to score.